Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to a new video. Bienvenidos a las aventuras de los Ramirez. In this video, I'll actually be doing a quick get ready with me and just a quick update. I actually haven't even been myself these past few days, but we'll get to that as I'm applying my makeup. And like I said, it'll be just simple. Basically everything that I'm using here is drugstore. So yeah, that's what I use when I'm doing just like quick get ready with me. When I'm gonna do like an actual full glam, that's when I use more of my higher end products. But as of now, I'm just trying to get myself rejuvenated, make me feel awake again. So yeah, so I've already done my eyebrows simply because right now my eyebrows, I'm trying to let my eyebrows grow out. Ladies, I'm sure, fellas too, I'm sure you guys had that problem where you go to a new eyebrow stylist, I guess, is that what they're called? Or eyebrow groomer. I'm not sure what they're called, like their actual name. Um, but the last time I went, she really thinned out my eyebrows. I naturally don't have thin eyebrows. I have more of a thicker eyebrow shape, but I'm trying to let them grow out. So I try doing my best with my eyebrow pencil. And so if it looks a little like I'm sure you guys can see like lots of sparse hairs. Um, but it's okay. We're gonna try to work with it. Well, I'm gonna try to work with it. So, like I said, I've already done my eyebrows. There will be maybe, oh gosh, there's actually only one high end out of the rest. I'll just be using my Tarte concealer. I'm in the color 40 and 20. Oh, 40 and 20. What? Where the heck? 40N is what I meant to say. So I'm just going to use that to shape out my eyebrows and then get started with the rest. Where did I leave my brush? Oh my god. It's like, it's not one thing, it's the other. You know what, whatever. I'm not even going to try to look for it. We're just going to work with whatever I got going on here. So this is more of a webcam. Get ready with me. I have to because I went and bought a new one and I wanted to finish out the old one. But guys, I haven't gotten ready in like 4 days. That's why I said like I just needed to really rejuvenate myself because I've been looking like shit the past few days. And the reason for that is because my little guy here got very sick that on Tuesday night I had to go to the hospital. I took him to the hospital. And parents, I know you guys know that going to the hospital is not like the greatest feeling in the world, or just even your child being sick. Um, Unfortunately, Gennady, well, I mean, fortunately, he's a lot better now. Um, but he had very high fevers. He had a fever of 102 when we arrived at the hospital. But since the afternoon, I'd say around 6 o'clock, because I had took him out to go play, and when we came back in, you know, kids run around, of course, like like que están calientes. But I know my son's difference of when he's hot from playing, and when his body is just hot, like he's heating up. So once we came in from playing outside, I took off his sweater, took off his clothing, extra clothing that he had on. And man, if you're a mother or a father and your child has had a febrile seizure, you know how scary fevers can be for you and for them as well. Um, Unfortunately, December 19th, 2017, my son had a febrile seizure. I was not there. I wasn't present. I was at work, but his father was there. He was watching him. And guys, it was the worst feeling ever, being so far away from him and that happening to him. Not only to him, but how traumatized my man was. For he didn't sleep for like a whole month, like no sleep. And I actually felt very bad, like I know, and they told me not to beat myself up about it, but to this day, like I really wish I was there. Like I really wish it was me instead of him. Um, because he he tends to panic when my son has high fevers, which I totally understand because he's seen it. He's seen our son go through that. And like I said, seizures are not, it's the worst thing you can ever experience as a parent. And like I said, so I gave him Motrin around 7 o'clock. It was 7:08 to be exact. Because I was like, okay, his body, like I removed all his clothing when we came in because I noticed, like I said, I noticed something was up. So I removed his clothing. It didn't go down. I gave him Motrin, and they told us when he had the febrile seizure that whenever he is hot, remove all clothing, and give him nothing but cold drinks, the cold ice popsicles, which we did. Like I gave him one, and it wasn't going down. It was okay. So I gave it to him at 7. At 8 o'clock, I took his temperature again. Well, the first time that I checked it, it was 101 on one ear and 100 on the other one, which they told me always go for the highest number. So I was like, okay, because we used the ear thermometer, and it said 101. So I was like, oh gosh, I gotta give him his medicine now. And so I gave it to him, gave him the popsicle, gave him cold drinks with ice, um, and it helped just a tad bit. Around 9:30, I checked again. I didn't want to over check because it can cause them ear infections. So around 9:30, I took it again, and it was at 99.8 and then 99.7 on the other ear. So I'm like, okay, it dropped down some. Let's see how it goes on. So again, I was the headless noodle. We kept offering him fluids because that's what you're supposed to do, is offer them fluids. Don't like over rush them to drink fluids. Just let them do it on their own. But the crazy thing is the same thing that happened 2017 was that he was running around like if nothing was going on. Like he was playful, he was laughing, he was trying to wrestle, which you shouldn't. You should try to have your child rest. But Gennady, what are you doing? And so, like I was saying, he was running around like if it was nothing, which turned out that I really didn't know was that when they have high fevers and they're still running around being playful, that's just their body fighting the infection. So I took him to the hospital around 11:30 was when we left here. But he didn't need his next dosage until 1. So like I said, like his temperature wasn't dropping. Lo dejamos desnudo. Again, we bought him more popsicles, and nothing was really helping keep his fever down. And I checked his temperature again around 10, 10:20, 10:30, and it went back up. It was at 100 and 101. So I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to call his doctor, see if she can give me a call back. I called his doctor with his pediatrician, but obviously at those hours, it's no longer, nobody's there. But they do have an on call nurse. I called and she was like, oh, she'll give you a call back within 45 minutes. If she doesn't give you a call back, just go ahead and call us again. So then we were patiently waiting for their call back, and nothing. Ya pasó, like eran ya como las 11:10, and I was just like, okay, his fever is not going down. He started shivering and getting goosebumps all over and twitching, which were the signs of him having a seizure again. Like same thing, that the way he was acting was the same way that he was when he had the febrile seizure. So my man was panicking. He's like, you know what? Like, let's go. We gotta go. I don't want to go through this again. It's scary. I don't want you to see it. Blah 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 blah. And so I told him, okay, well let me just. I hopped in the shower. It took like a 3-4 minute shower, just to refreshen up, because I was like, okay, in case I have something still on me, let me just wash it off, so when we're there, I'm not surrounded by other kids. I mean, you will be surrounded by other kids, but you just don't want to be touching or leaning back on stuff where kids will sit. So I showered, and then from there we left. When we got to the hospital, it's like 30 minutes. It's like 20, 25, 30 minutes from here. We went, and as soon as I got there, I went to Children's Hospital here in Atlanta, and right away we got taken care of because, again, of his history of feverish seizures, with just one seizure. And yeah, and we got there, and it's so sad. Like, you always see other kids. Like, I told Alonso, I was like, dude, I wanted to cry so bad seeing some of these kids there. Like, you know that they're like in high pains. And yeah, and as soon as we got there, they right away checked him in, and um, as soon as I was signing in, I noticed that he had gagged and he was trying to throw up, and I was like, what the heck? Like, his fever is really making him um, want to throw up. And once they told us that he had a fever of 102, I right away started panicking. But like I told Alonso, I'm like, what do you want? Mm-hmm. Like I told Alonso, I was like, I mean, he was sitting down while they were playing the movie, and he was like, even though he was so weak, like he was shaking, and he was like, Mama, Mama. I was like, what, baby? I was like, that's cool. And it was a movie of helicopters. I forgot what the movie is called. And it was just like very heartwarming to hear him say that, to know that he's still himself in a way. And like I said, coming to find out that was just his body trying to fight the infection. And I kid you not, as soon as we got into the room, 5 minutes later, he just threw up all over me. Like, I didn't care. Like, I just, like, whatever. I had to throw up all on my face, all on my clothing. And he cried because he panics whenever he throws up. I mean, what kid doesn't panic when they throw up? Hell, I had a phobia of throwing up, but I outgrew it. Sorry, his hair. He's actually going for a haircut this weekend. He doesn't let me do his hair. Baby. And yeah, so he's been sick, and they just prescribed him Zofran, which they just told us that there's like stomach viruses going around that causes fevers and all that. But he was healthy. His lungs sounded healthy. He didn't have any signs of pneumonia or the flu. So I was very happy about that. And then they also let me know I was giving him only 5 ml for dosage. Like I said, I was waiting for the call back from his pediatrician so she could tell me. I told him how much I had given him. I wasn't sure how much I could give him. If I didn't know if I could give him more. Which they told me that yes, because he's 30 pounds, he can take 7 milliliters of Tylenol and Motrin. And also, I never thought of it, but they told me that I can, whenever he has fevers, I can give him Tylenol and Motrin, but 3 to 4 hours apart each. They said that way it would really help him with the fevers. I'm like, okay, good, because I felt like the Motrin wasn't really helping. She was like, Motrin is more like a pain reliever, and Tylenol was like really into just reducing fevers, which I didn't know, which now I know. Like I said, I'm still a new mom, even though he's 2 years and a half. Like, I'm still learning each and every day. But it's always awesome to find out new things like that. You know, now I know. I'm like, okay, no more just Motrin. Like, give him Tylenol and Motrin. And if you guys are probably wondering, like, well, why is it every 3 to 4 hours? Because, again, of a history. Because of his history of a febrile seizure. And if you guys don't know what a febrile seizure is, it's just when their fevers kick in really high. Clearly, seizure. They have a seizure that shouldn't last more than a minute, but if it does happen, we have to lay him flat on the floor, roll him to his side, and just count how long his seizure is. when he had his seizure, luckily he didn't have any neurological damage, which is great because even though they say you shouldn't really be scared of a febrile seizure, you should, because there's cases where kids actually have febrile seizures, and it can happen between 3 months up, 3 months old and up, and supposedly they grow out of it like at 6 years old, 6, 7 years old, and so. Oh my god. That's my niece. You guys remember Natalie. But so yeah, like there's cases where kids actually do have neurological damage due to the seizure, and it's also very unpreventable. Like it's not preventable. There's nothing you can do besides just rely on Motrin and Tylenol. But even then, like it can still happen. But it's very scary. It's very scary every time he gets sick. Like that's something that I wish no child or parent would ever go through. You know, there's just some things we can't stop, and yeah, but it's very, very scary. It's very frightening, especially like I said, for new parents. And coming to find out is that febrile seizures are genetically passed on. My brother, my oldest brother, would constantly get febrile seizures, which I didn't know. So that's something he inherited from his uncle. Like, out of everything else, it had to be that. But there's just nothing that we can do about it except for just, you know, keeping calm. Like, you guys, I was shaking of scaredness, and then having my man also panic because, like I said, he's seen it last time, so he was very afraid. I had to really hold it together, but even then it was very hard for me, especially because I had my son in my arms. He only wanted me to carry him, so it was just so much. It was so much, and it's very scary, like I said. I keep saying that, but it's just, you know, it is very scary to go through that, to know that your child can have the seizure at whatever moment. And like I said, there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. All you can do is just let them go through it. But that's how these past few days has been for us. I haven't had, well, thankfully now I had. Last night I got the best sleep ever because basically all he had was just a virus in his stomach, which thankfully went away. Like, my poor baby did not eat for 3 days. Oh, be careful. He didn't eat for 3 days. He was drinking fluids, and we did buy him applesauce and whatever water infused things he could eat, like cantaloupe, caldo de pollo. That's what I made him. He didn't want to eat any of that, so finally yesterday he started eating, and I stopped giving him his Zofran, mainly because it just, they gave him for more days, but I stopped giving it to him mainly because I noticed, like, he kept pointing at his stomach, like, I'm guessing, like, it wasn't really feeling good for him. I still gave it to him yesterday, just one time, and that's it. I only did the first 8 hours of the day because it's every 8 hours, and I stopped giving it to him, and ever since I stopped giving it to him, that's when he started eating. So I feel like the Zofran was kind of not, I mean, it did help with his vomiting, that's what it's for, but I just felt like it wasn't really, how can I explain it, like, it did its job from causing him not to throw up. But yeah, after I stopped giving it to him, his fevers went away. He was eating, like, he finally ate, and I was very happy. And then he just looks so much better now. And I stopped giving him his medicine because, like I said, he doesn't eat it anymore. But man, It is very terrifying, especially like after when you leave the hospital and they still have a fever. Like you're still very scared. Like I'm always scared whenever he's sick. Like I really get no sleep at all. Like we didn't get discharged until 3 a.m. and then I had to wake up at 5 to make Alonzo breakfast and lunch. Like I still, I still gotta do things. But he ended up taking the day off to help me out with Gennady. Because he knew, he was tired too. He didn't sleep anything because he was worried. He couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. I can never sleep whenever he's sick. And I know that's just me being motherly, but I cannot sleep at all. Like, the past 3 nights, I've only had about 2 hours of sleep each night. Literally, like, I'm not kidding. Like, the first night, the first morning, the day after the hospital, the morning of the hospital, I had to drink me a thing of Red Bull. And I hardly ever drink those drinks. I only drink those drinks whenever he's sick, when I really need it, because, man, they kick in. And it did. Like, that's how I survived the whole day. I'm just applying bronzer, not too much. I didn't feel like contouring or anything. But it is scary. It is scary. And that's one of the scariest times when it comes to being a parent, when your child is sick and there's nothing much you can do for them. Luckily, now that he's older, he tells me exactly what hurts. Like, he was telling me, like, Mommy, and he would point at his stomach. I'm like, Papi, do you feel good? He's like, no. I'm like, does your head hurt? And he say, yeah. And I'm like, does your belly hurt? And he'll say, yeah. So I'm actually thankful now that he can, that he can tell us now what hurts and what doesn't hurt. And now he's him. Like, he's being very playful. So yeah, so I've been feeling like crap these past few days because I haven't gotten any sleep, and just the thought of something happening to him while I was sleeping. And I'm the type of mom that will still look into the internet, like Google, type in things like, oh, what can I do, this and that, and I will be reading different articles, y yo misma me espanto. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, what if it's something more serious, like, basically, like, self-diagnose it, even though the doctors already told me what it was. I'm just the type of mom that will still get scared, like, oh my God, what if it's something else? So yeah, this happened Tuesday night. It is now Friday. So Tuesday or Monday night, one of the two. But he's feeling a lot better now. I'm actually happy because I get my baby back, and I can go back to potty training him. I'm actually trying to potty train him now. And he's actually has had used the restroom. I started Monday. He was doing good, but then Tuesday when he got sick, and after that, I just didn't want to pressure him. What, Papi? Popo? Popo? I'll be right back. And so, yeah, so we're trying to get him potty trained. So wish me luck. It's not the easiest thing ever. Like, I thought it would be like easy. Like, I can do this. My son can do this. Girl, it is hard. Like, at first, like, he would stiffen himself up and he wouldn't even sit. Like, he would just not sit. He was giving me the hardest time to sit him down into the toilet. But after taking him more often and explaining to him that he can't pee or popo in his diaper and he has to go in the bathroom, like, he's been telling me, like, even if it's just like the smallest piss ever, like, he goes and do it. I mean, there's times, like I said, now that that was the first and Tuesday, that he was going, like, he was actually going. But because he was sick, I didn't want to, like, he was weak and sick, so I didn't want to, like, pressure him into using the restroom. Gennady! So yeah, so now I'm working to get him back into the bathroom. So right now I have him just in shorts and his Captain Underpants underwear. So wish me luck, guys, because it has not been an easy transition so far. But that's how my past few days has been. So yeah. I like to curl my lashes. I tried doing the whole false lashes thing, but I just can't get it right. Like, I don't know what it is. What do you want, baby? No. 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 Which one? This one? No. This one? No, no, no. This one? This one? What do you have in your face? No. Ew. What do you want? So yeah, but I am trying. And also, ladies, when you're potty training, try not to get too frustrated with them, especially because they will have accidents. And I mean, you can't punish them because if you punish them, it honestly just scares them to like wanting to go. So yeah, and I've been told that potty training boys is a lot harder than potty training girls. But I just figured, okay, if I just have him sit down in the toilet and pee instead of him standing up and try to hold his beanie weenie, I feel like that's more when he's like 4 years old to be able to hold it. He's only 2.5. A friend of mine told me too, like she has been trained to potty train at a daycare before, and she told me, she's like, I mean, they'll go when they're ready, so not to worry about it. And again, he's only 2.5. But then again, I'm like, I'm so done with diapers. Like I'm so done with him. Like I feel like he's big enough now, but I'm not over pushing him either. But I'm trying to get him to understand that he is a big boy. Like when he does use the restroom, I'd be like, yay! Like I congratulate him, and then I give him a high five and let him do the big boy thing of flushing the toilet, which for some reason he's very entertained with doing that. So yeah, just tell them like how good of a job they're doing with that. I feel like this video is going to be so long. I'm just trying to let y'all know what I've done these past few days. And like I said, it's just the worst when they're sick. Debating what I want to use as my lip. I don't know. That's how my son says it. I don't know. I want to use these two. I'm just gonna use my LA Color Auto Lip Liner. You know what's crazy is that now LA Color is popping, but I was actually using LA Color since like I don't know, 8th grade was when my mom finally let me put in mascara, but I would hide it and buy some foundation and be like, oh, it's just crema, man, like it's just crema, because back then like makeup wasn't big as it is now. But yeah, man, I was using the concealers, the foundation, and then maybe like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, like it's been like boom, and I'm like, okay, I should have done videos since like back then, but that's another story about how my dad didn't allow me to make a YouTube channel, even though I always knew I wanted to be on the internet, not be on the internet, but like be something. Like I used to stay making videos. And those of you guys that would watch my old videos back on Facebook and like MySpace, shout out to y'all because y'all know I've been wanting, not been wanting, but I knew that I wanted to do something television wise. It's just now that I've gotten older, my my mentality has changed. So yeah. I forgot to get my lip gloss. Not lip gloss, but on my Carmex. And it's Friday, so I just wanted to get ready, you know. Like I said, especially the past few days, I haven't gotten ready. And it'd be like that sometimes where I just F it and not wear any makeup for like a whole week or two. But because we just been, our minds has just been like, I want a man to come home. So his wife is looking like a snack. And then I'm just using my, what is this? Revlon 671 in the color cream mink. So lipstick. I don't really fuck with lipsticks like I used to. Like, I am so obsessed with liquid lipsticks. I just feel like they stay on so much longer, and I feel like lipsticks are easy to get in your teeth, which nobody ever wants. I know I sure as hell don't. But yeah, so this is just my quick, simple look. And yeah, like I said, just something easy, not too much. This is literally my go-to look. Like literally just eyebrows, mascara, a lip color, some foundation, bronzer, concealer, boom, vamonos. But like I said, these are just my drugstore products. And then when I do go out or we're gonna go take pictures, then yeah, I'll use my higher end products. But as of now, I'm just like, nah. This is more like we're about to go get some hot wings, some 10-piece hot lemon pepper wings, extra wet, extra crispy. Yep, we don't care about that diet right now. I mean, I do, but you know, I go through my phases of where I lose the weight, stop giving a fuck, and then be like, oh, I'm big, and then drop the weight. That's just how I am. I'm not, you know, overly like, oh my god, like, I need to be in a strict diet or this and that. No, right now I'm just really living myself. I'm happy. So I say it's not happy weight. If I lose hella fucking weight like I did when I was in high school, where I dropped so much weight, like I was bones, yeah, I was depressed then. So now I'm happy. I'm just happy. And I'm just gonna apply some eyeliner on the side. Look at my lashes. Oh, you guys can see them. And this is just by me curling. And like I said, I just feel like my natural lashes look better than when I wear my falsies. Falsies are cute. Maybe it's just that I haven't been able to apply them right. And so I've given up. But I'll try again sometime. Whenever I really want to, like, really glam the fuck up. But honestly, now that I'm a mom, I rarely ever get ready. Sorry, I need to look at it. So yeah, so just taking me a quick thank you. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna do the other eye, and that's the completed look. Thank you, guys.